242 Charlie Victor is cleared to land. Surface wind 010 at 10 knots.
November 242 Charlie Victor.
Number 242 Charlie Victor, look for a follow me vehicle on your right hand side which will lead you to parking.
Okay.
Cosford Tower, this is Oak Tree, request permission for 2 Jaguar aircraft, mode 1 POB to engine start at hangar 12.
Oak Tree, Cosford ground, engine start is approved.
Engine start approved.
Second Papa Whiskey is cleared to land, surface wind 340, 7 to 8 knots. Falcons DZ, you can now release the balloon.
Cosford Tower, DZ, many thanks.
ASK-21 glider there. That's moved down to motion later.
And display, Foxtrot, dropping down.
Foxtrot, yeah.
And they're out of the aircraft. They're looking at pulling their parachutes.
Display, Foxtrot. That's it for me, setting course back to Netherham.
Fox Roger, thanks for your time sir today and have a good trip back.
Cosford Tower, Battle.
Battle Cosford Tower, Roger, runway 06 right and QFE 1004. Expect very little delay. As soon as his parachute's on the ground, we'll be bringing you in.
That's copied. Relentless, we will hold just to the north of Bridge North in a right-hand orbit until the ground, then we'll run in.
Battle, if you commence your running now, the last 3 parachutes are about 50 feet landing.
Okay, that's copied. Coming in this time. Battle on the rollout. Echelon left, order 1, 4, 2, 3, go.
Performance later on. 2 Hurricanes, 2 Spitfires.
Battle on landing from runway 06, you'll all be to the end and right.
All to the end and right, copied. Battle on, final skid up.
Final skid up.
Battle 2, clear to land and turn.
Landing turn 2. Sorry, that's Battle 4 is the second one.
Battle 4, understood, land and turn.
Landing turn, Battle 4.
Battle 3, final skid out.
Battle 3, clear to land and turn.
Landing turn, Battle 3. Battle 1, slow on the right.
There's lots of personnel down here, boys, take it easy.
Battle, if you just hold your position there now, maybe he's got to park you on the right on the grass, or right on the grass, stand by.
Tiger 17 at the hold.
Tiger 17, Cosford display, Roger, good afternoon, you are cleared to display, runway 06 right is in use and the QFE 1004.
06, 1004, clear display, Tiger 17.
Oh, he's upside down. Ah, that's a good start. So if he had his wheels extended, they'd be up, but he hasn't. this. He'll roll the aircraft so that he's doing an outside turn. He'll be on the outside of this, which means he's pushing negative G and the blood's all rushing to his head. Very uncomfortable. That is, and you can see from the way the smoke streams off the trailing edge, it goes off at a completely different angle to the aircraft. Suddenly, he's taken the car right off the beat. You'll see that high angle of attack and the smoke coming upwards from the rear of the wing.
Meteor Cosford display, good afternoon, Cosford runway 06 to QFE 1004, and you'll be cleared to display on the radar. Hi, 17, nice display, sir, and back to Shoreby frequencies, goodbye.
Meteor was originally made by Gloucester Aviation. And as you can see, a twin-engined aeroplane, two Rolls-Royce Derwent engines, looking quite bulbous, centrifugal turbojets they were called. About 7,000 pounds of static thrust from both of those engines together. Compare that with the 27,000 pounds from the F-16's engine that we were seeing just now, all from a single engine. So Meteor designed by George Carter. He'd previously worked on the Gloucester Gladiator, an old biplane. And he'd also designed the first British jet aircraft of all, the E-2839, that allowed Frank Whittle's Powerjet's W1 engine to get airborne in 1941. So Meteors were used successfully against the B-1 Doodlebug flying bombs in the defence of London. They were fast enough to catch up with them. As, of course, were some of the late Mark Spitfires that this strange jet aeroplane was taking over from. A specially prepared Meteor Mark IV of the RAF's high-speed flight got the world speed record to 606 miles an hour in 1945 and then raised it to 616, which is rather nice because they were had been part of 616 Squadron. So the reason this model of Meteor looks a bit like it's got an extended nose is that it's an NF-11, a Night Fighter 11, which actually included some early radar. And built not by Gloucester's, but by Armstrong Whitworth. She's painted in the colours of 141 Squadron at RAF Cosford. So it's rather nice now that the Air Atlantic Classic Air Force have been able to return her to her birthplace at Coventry. I can remember flying in the back of one of these when I was training to be a navigator. They sat you in the back and gave you a funny navigation aid called G, and you got to look into the radar and try to see where. In its role as a night fighter, it was, for the time, reasonably heavily armed. 4 Hispano cannon in the outer wings, 20mm cannon. Could almost get to 500 miles an hour, so faster than the contemporary Spitfires, but not by a huge amount. So John Corley giving us a lovely, gentle display from this graceful old lady. Actually, I've just realised she's the same age as the Vulcan, this aeroplane. She'll see the Vulcan later. He's gone freelance. He offers piloting service to anybody who's prepared to pay for it, really. He specialises in vintage aircraft. He says he's happily married, living in Leicestershire and bringing up a future young pilot. I think age 5 at the moment.
For final pass.
Yep.
Hey, Jet Pro 324.
Sorry, 324, Cosford display, runway 06, the QFE 1004, and you're clear to display.
061004, Jet Pro 324, 2 minutes just to need to do an inverter check.
Great family man.
Meet you, nice display,
Also,
sir.
he'd done a lot of instructing on the Jet Provost, so this display is rather. Remained involved in display flying with Tutor until the year before his death, and he flew with the RAF Air Experience flight at Wood Vale. And in memory of Bill Hartree, the Flying Control Committee here will, for this show and in the future, award the Hartree Memorial Trophy for the most accurate, safe and polished flying display of the RAF Cosford show. An elegant little aeroplane, the JP Mark 5, Jet Provost 5. Various companies owning it, and eventually this became the BAC, British Aircraft Corporation Jet Provost. Somebody had come up with the idea that you could do all-crew jet training instead of having to transfer from piston engine to jet. And it was the first Air Force in the world to do that. It's kind of ironic that they went through turboprop, so it's sort of jet training, but a propeller-driven aircraft. This particular elegant little aeroplane served at Royal Air Force Finningley, which is now called Robin Hood Airport, Doncaster, Sheffield. Says that it was at number 6 Flying Training School at Finningley, used for navigator training and low-level and air defence of the Low-Level and Air Defence Unit, LLAD. Lovely, steady, slow roll there from turn R. The slower the roll, the more difficult it is to do. So you really get your hands and legs cross controls to make the aircraft keep going in a straight line while it's doing a slow roll. Elegant one, and despite Afra and Tutor, Timmy and Aerobatic. He was not religious.
Display there, supply base 1,500 feet.
There was to be no, as he put it, God-bothering.
Last pass.
Is an Air Force phrase. And a very good time was had by all, albeit tinged with a few tears.
Sierra 122, clear display.
We'll be very proud to have undertaken this memorial flight for a very good.
Jet 324 to approach 13587.
Jet 5324, roger.
And that was Flight Lieutenant Rob.
I promoted you there, Reese. What did you get? Well, Flight Lieutenant. Did you? Good luck.
Sea Flight of 22
Got the concentrate.
will stop its official
Crew and jet. Well, it's just a crew. Fuel, we've got 2,200 pounds, course panel 30. These are all the limits. Normals are in the middle pretty much. Go descending.
So if you're on the front line, you'll see all that going down. And on the end of the wire is
to the primary drop. Steady. That one. And six. Surround the secure. Steady. Second double position. That one is right. Steady. Ready for lift. Pinching in. There we go. Move forward. Stay at height for now. Nice slow change.
Slightly left your board.
Yeah.
Slightly for too close.
Range is good. Where's the pilot? Pilot, please. Pilot.
Widget, running 06 threshold.
Hello.
Out to the west of your
Hello.
Widget.
Yeah, I'm in. Which in?
Continue. Stop, check it out.
He's hoisted on board. You notice that the aircraft, as they were hoisting him in, came slowly down so that they stayed fairly close to the ground. They're closing the door, but there's still somebody waving there. That's probably Martin Seward. So I think this is a very special occasion when they're able to say goodbye to the sea flight of 22 Squadron. Coming to an end in its centenary year. Squadron served with distinction in both World Wars. Disbanded after the Japanese surrender in 1945. Reformed in 55. Interesting squadron crest for the 22 Squadron. The mathematical symbol pi superimposed on the Maltese cross. During one period in squadron history, the aircraft would take off from an airfield in Malta and overfly the 7 group headquarters, which was then situated in Malta. Hence 22/7. Get it? Pi. One of the 22 Squadron pilots told me that it's really sad that they're leaving this area. They get to know their patch very well indeed. They get to know all the angles, and they get to know the people, the emergency services, and the people they pick up. So they're feeling as if it really is the end of an era. Sound as the helicopter pulls away of 2 Rolls-Royce Gnome engines, about 1,660 shaft horsepower each. Because it's important for these kind of aircraft that you have.
Golf Papa Bravo Yankee Alpha Cosford display. Good morning, Cosford QFE 1005. Report running into display.
Sierra 122, that is now complete. Parting to the south, back to approach. 1358.
Sierra 122, Roger, thank you.
Daily work
Good day.
of the men and women of 22. So, John Warman is the captain in the left-hand seat, David Barlow in the right-hand seat, and the crew chief with them. Now, the interesting thing about that is you have these engines well above the pilots, so the throttles, the engine controls, are in the roof of the cockpit, rather than the usual place on a little console between the pilots. This is one of the awkwardnesses about the PBY. They also suffer from rather heavy flying controls with no power assistance. So you can recognize a PB. Oh, there are the floats coming down. Those floats. They talk about alightings, because that covers either land or water. But they're quite difficult with this aircraft. It doesn't have any flaps. They're sort of slow-speed handling things that almost all other aircraft do have. However, there were some comfortable things about it. For their long 14-hour flights, the crews had bunks and a galley in there. Wheels quite near the back, and a nose wheel. So maybe the Royal Air Force would like to induct this airplane back into its fleet, so it would have some maritime patrol. Or maybe it'll go for a P8. Really do need something, I feel. There we go, it's not up to me. R1830 twin wasps, 14 cylinders each, radial engines, 14 cylinders in 2 rows of 7. Radial meaning that the cylinders are positioned around a central crankcase in a circular shape, as opposed to being in line as they are with a lot of other engines, most car engines for instance. So about 2,400 horsepower between the top two.
Kathleen and Roger, continue with approach on 135875 and got the Voyager just orbiting out to the west.
I didn't think she wasn't coming, but here she is.
Ascot 2208, Cosford Tower, good afternoon. Runway 06 right hand QFE 1005, clear to run in.
Clear to run in, 1005, Ascot 2208.
Become so common these days. Refueling units under the wings there. They're actually in the place where the 3rd and 4th engines would be on an A340. And there's full power coming on the 2 big Rolls-Royce Trent engines, 72,000
Ascot
pounds.
2208, Roger, nice display, sir, good day.
Listen to how quiet they are compared to the normal military jets. And that, I'm afraid, is all we're going to see.
Flying instructor with 16 Squadron at RAF College Cranwell. We're along with 703 Naval Air Squadron, 674 Army Air Squadron, and the 57 Squadron are responsible for teaching and inspiring the next generation of military pilots. While the Tutor itself may not defend the skies, EFT teaches the basic flying skills to military pilots before they go into more advanced aircraft. For example, the RAF Typhoon pilots conducting the Baltic air policing and the quick reaction alert that keeps Britain safe will have all started their flying career on elementary flying training. Four-point roll, Andy's doing now, these exceptional coordination form together, right? I only finished EFT in February this year, so if there are any budding pilots out there who have any questions about it, feel free to come and find us. We'll probably be around the Grob Tutor Static. And we have lots of freebies to give out as well, if that interests you. Flying into the vertical. And he kicks in the left rudder for a stall turn to the left, before coming back towards the crowd for a quarter clover. These aerobatics that Andy is performing are all taught to student pilots as they progress through flying training. And in addition to EFT, the Grob Tutor is also used to train University Air Squadron cadets and provide flying experience to thousands of air cadets nationwide. Up next is an inverted pass. As Andy flies by inverted, he'll be feeling negative 1G. He then pushes forward on the stick up to negative 3G. Any pilots among you will realise how uncomfortable Andy is during that manoeuvre. These aerobatics are a vital skill for military pilots. For example, the slow roll Andy is performing now requires him to expertly operate the ailerons, the elevators and rudders to keep them going straight and level. the line difference.
Roger.
This is Oak 3, we're ready on your call.
Oak 3, taxi forward to 24, hold.
Cosford Tower, Oak 3, taxi forward, 24, hold, roger.
And I can see
Oak 3, enter the runway for your display.
an hour ago, which was
Cosford Tower, Oak 3, roger, enter the runway for
taxiing
display.
demonstration. Just to remind you that these aircraft, there are no Jaguars left flying, haven't been
Please understand you're completing now heading for Airport.
the end
The Cosford approach 135875.
There's no one flying, but there are lots of Jaguars here, as you'll have seen, if you've looked around the place.
Civil 34.
And
Golf Alpha Whiskey Hotel
the
Kilo.
engines still work, some of the controls still work.
Whiskey Hotel Kilo, Cosford Tower, good afternoon, runway 06, the QFE 1005. If you hold it, the reservoir will bring you in shortly.
Taxi up and down the runway.
So that last one again?
You just hold at the reservoir and we'll keep you updated what the program is.
Okay, thanks for that. And if it's 06 for the signing cross, then I'd like to join right base to 06.
But that will be approved.
Chrono in the second of the two Jaguars, taxiing down the runway now. Freedom and the like. So the Jaguars taxiing back down the runway to return to their parking spaces. But what a pleasure to see them. I'm glad we did eventually see them. So they can offer the use of all the controls that you would normally use in an aircraft before it flies, but the difference is these are sadly never going to fly again. But looking at them there, I just think, wouldn't it be lovely if one of them just opened up the taps and took off and flew somewhere exciting to a secret airfield somewhere so that it could fly on to the future. Some place like Hot Schwigley near Manchester. I'm sure there must be a secret airfield there with a runway that a Jaguar could land on. It's a good thought.
Radio check.
Station con your cadets again.
Okay, it's just a radio check. Just thought I'd lost you.
Hotel Kilo, if you want to feed in now, position downwind right hand for runway 06. I may have to orbit you for one orbit downwind, but expect the runway to clear shortly.
Roger that. Just about to coming into the left hand down, right hand downwind for 06.
Job one day. So we're looking for what will look suspiciously like a Messerschmitt 109, but will actually be a Buchon, which is the Spanish version of the Messerschmitt 109, but very hard.
Okay, roger, thanks very much. Well, runway vacated.
Being that the Buchons had
Kilo stand final for the green to left.
Hotel Kilo is clear to land, instant wind 3607 knots.
Roger. Two. Display, good afternoon, wingwalk formation, holding to the north.
More formation, Cosford display, good afternoon, sir, runway 06 right, QFE's 1005, with one on finals, expect to call in shortly.
Roger, and the QFE 1005 wingwalk.
Vic Norman and his amazing team live and work, although they're so popular. Biplanes, same sort of vintage as Tiger Moths, but a lot bigger and tougher. But not just biplanes, each biplane...
Because Cosford display, you now cleared into display report running in.
Clear display, wingwalk. Diving, go.
So be always ready to wave. They can see you very well from up there, the girls. So if you're right down at the front there, you'll get a very good view
Right now.
on the wing and the lovely Breitling colour scheme. Breitling being a really good sponsor of all things aviational. They sponsor this team, they also sponsor a jet team, and it's very encouraging when big companies do this kind of thing. So, as they go past the flypasts to and fro, you'll see the girls waving. Please do wave back to them. You'll also see them
Left now.
wave. These are the hump sprints. And they're upside down, the girls. They're pulling 4G there as they pull out of that right-wing bump. But with the girls upside down, that's quite uncomfortable for them. You can see that the girls are sideways on, lying on their sides as they go by. So as they go away from us, we'll see them come back together in opposite. So you see them synchronized at each end of the airfield there. Don't forget to keep waving as the girls go by. One of the world's classic training aircraft. This more than 10,000 spraying in the United States. Big engine on this 450 horsepower Pratt & Whitney engine. All of this type of barnstorming behaviour started in the roaring 20s, and in 1933 here in Britain. But nowadays, with proper tested, approved safety equipment, they're allowed to do this. I've actually tried it myself standing on the wing. It's an amazing feeling. Synchro dive. Enjoy the diving sound. And synchronized barrel rolls. We didn't mention the barrel roll before, but it happens when the pilot flies. I'm hoping that we're going to see them land here. We're not going to. They were so keen to make the First World War airfield, and Freya is sitting on the leading edge of the wing, heavily instrumental. That's necessary to have great core strength. This is a very graceful, it's called...
Cosford display. This is last pass of running Wingwalkers and emphasis to land everything.
Full office, Roger.
To land.
1 and 2, Roger, the surface wind 320, 10 knots.
Wingwalk 2, turning finals, landing right.
Wingwalk 2, cleared landing turn.
Cleared landing turn, Wingwalk 2.
Copy to Cosford display. Good afternoon. Clear QFE is 1005. Line up and wait. Well, confirm we're vacated. Zulu is clear to take off and display the surface wind 3205 knots.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. He's just taken off. Oh my goodness, we've done. And he's got a rather natty call sign, Golf Echo Whiskey India Zulu.
or gee whiz for short. And it's an amazingly agile little aeroplane, or should I say biplane, with a very powerful engine for its weight. 350 horsepower, 9-litre, 6-cylinder beast of a powertrain, which means that Richard can get this aircraft to do the most extraordinary things in the air, and also got a very, very good smoke system, which you can see there, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes back in for his run. And look at that, that's amazing.
Modifying this engine, did you?
Well, yes, I did. But I was a bit concerned that there'd be some sort of grill over the inlet to keep out large flies or, leaves or... I had a rummage in my kitchen cupboards, came up with an old steel, one of these colander things, an excellent you strain the peas with, and we did laugh, but...
and if you now a Civil Aviation Authority approved colander?
Oh, it is, it's very, very reliable. The whole thing wrapped up with fiberglass tape we bought at our local Halford.
Flying this extraordinary aeroplane today.
Well, yes, of course, Richard, he's quite a stalwart, quite a character, a man of boundless ambition, a man who lives, eats and breathes aviation, ladies and gentlemen. It runs in the family. His father was an RAF fighter pilot, flew the Hunter and the English Electric Lightning Interceptor, and Richard himself was an RAF fighter pilot on the Tornado GR1 and flew, I think he flew today, like it was today, flying for Richard. Away from the aviation, it's a bit of a wine buff. In fact, it's the first time we show for studio, and he gets pretty much the same effect as flying in the lift.
What's rather extraordinary about this aeroplane is this amazing colour scheme.
Oh, yes, it is rather special, isn't it? And I'm pleased to say it was... And I got our other neighbour, Derek, who's a painter and decorator, local to us, and to do it for him. Unfortunately, tell me a bit about what it's like in this area. Well, it's very cramped in that, very cramped, very compact. But it is very well thought out. Look at that spectacular thing. I don't know how he does that. We had some wasps in the cowling area earlier. I think they might have got loose by the sea, a bit like in a snowstorm.
Yes. Well, I gather he flew his aerobatic routine with you in the two-seater version yesterday. What did they do?
It's rather lovely to have access to a working toilet under the driving seat. I was so amazed to see there's even the socket for plugging in a gramophone player.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, Richard thought of absolutely everything in the same way that the Vulcan transformed long-range bombing with its seat-back engine. But without some sort of in-flight entertainment, I thought.
Well, absolutely.
And special mention has to be made about the wings, which I understand are made out of recycled lemonade bottles and cardboard egg cartons. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a very, very eco-friendly recycled materials. It is an amazing thing.
Well, I cannot disagree with that. That is absolutely amazing, and what a wonderful display.
He's still going very well. He's now doing something rather extraordinary. He does a thing in this biplane, G-force, like that's called an Admiral multi-spin off a stall turn, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Just hanging there in the air, and he'll kick the rudder around in a second.
I don't think I've ever seen a full turn go around so many times.
And into the voluntary access dive. Now, Richard calls this exercise the Zurich FIFA split. There it is. And a triple axle loop coming up shortly. Oh, look at that, that's amazing. A double hammerhead or pinwheel, that's the power of power. He calls that one, as he zooms back down there, working that engine overtime. sometimes, incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, he actually brings his dog with him on these aerobatic sorties. Little Jack Russell, sweet little thing. And straps it in there, like in the back seat, beside him. I'm not quite sure where he puts it. It's a lovely thing to see. Dog must be very fit, I suppose. Fit as a butcher dog, absolutely, Sean. You're absolutely right. Dated from 1945. It's got a very interesting history. It's been flown both by His Royal Highness Prince Philip and His Royal Highness Prince Charles, making this aircraft a true Royal Sun Alliance. Any of these stunts to one of those, I think you'd have a few complaints. Not from me, though. I would love to be in one of those.
I think he's taken his cigar out of his mouth long enough to tell us this is his last bit of flying before he comes into land.
This is the high alpha knife edge configuration, ladies and gentlemen. That engine just powering his way down the runway.
F342 Cosford display, you read multi-fire from 06, QFE 1005, got one to complete the display, expect to run shortly.
Okay, 42. Now land people.
Roger, got a Typhoon coming onto frequency, ready to run in once you complete.
Yes.
F342 is clear to display one on the runway, just vacating parking.
Avionics, aircraft, studio design, airport. Lieutenant Jonathan. And suddenly the power coming off those two Eurojet engines.
left.
Display red arrow. Red arrow's Cosford display, back in message.
Apologies, we're currently running 1 minute late.
Red arrow, what?
We're a minute late then.
Copied that, boss. I've got 1084. The wind looks 360 at 5.
And for big battle.
No, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right.
Cosford flat.
For 2015, it's the Red Arrows.
Hold in the base. Now, tight.
142, report going back to shopping.
Stopping 42, stopping off recall.
Roger, German, good day.
Here, Red 1, call the pilots into 9 arrow formation. The aircraft will now close to around 6 left. This is 9 arrow. Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Mike Bowden. Mike started his career in the Royal Air Force as a Hawk flying instructor at RAF Valley, before then moving on to the Harrier GR9 and then the Tornado GR4 before joining the Red Arrows. To your front right now, Red 1 starts to reverse this shape as they present chevron.
Hold in the base. Now, tight.
We've introduced this shape this year to celebrate the 75th anniversary and to honour all of those who have secured our skies in the past and continue to do so in the present. This shape is Spitfire. It's no different on the Red Arrows. While there are 9 pilots in front of you, it does take the entire 120-strong personnel on the team to keep the aircraft flying. Now in from the left, this is our trademark shape. Cameras ready for Diamond. Typhoon Force are on constant readiness 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, making sure that our skies are secure. And that's exactly what Tom was doing before he joined the team. Now out to the right, you'll see the Diamond has got a bit wider as we get ready to see a new manoeuvre for 2015. The smoke comes on, get ready for the whirlwind.
All right, rolling now. Hold in the base. Now, tight.
Enid split at the top. Now keep your eyes on Jippo underneath. Mark is in his 3rd and final year with the team, and his career before the Red Arrows was solely on the Tornado GR4, where he spent a number of tours and became a qualified weapons instructor. On the right, he's followed by Red 8, looking left with the smoke on Red 7, chased down by Red 9. Now these 4 aircraft are closing at 800 miles an hour. Get ready now for the amazing Jippo Pass. synchro pair now slingshot out to the front. You need to look left for a lone jet. And now cast your eyes right 45 degrees for Enid. There's smoke.
Coming right now.
He started his career as a Hawk flying instructor. This is the Vortex. Just heard Red 1 call the boys into leader's benefit. Now Reds 4 and 8 go right, Reds 5 and 9 go left. And they're going to fly a beam at Red 1 now. When the formation is flown in the red arrow, if the pilots aren't looking at the aircraft that is only 6 or 8 feet away from them, everyone has their own reference on the leader's aircraft, and they just trust that the pilot next to them has his aircraft in the correct place. With the jets further forward in this shape, they get a better view of Red 1, hence this is called leader's benefit.
Letting it out, rolling out.
Times at 6G in the carousel. Notice that these pilots are avoiding each other 3 times in this manoeuvre, putting 6G in at each of the crosses. They have swapped their smoke colour using the individual colour control buttons on the aircraft's control column. Times.
Coming right now.
This is the Twister.
Hold in the base now. Tight.
Getting very dizzy with his smoke changing from red to blue is Red 4. He is Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell. Stu is a second-year pilot with the team. His career started on the Tucano. Them in the corkscrew.
Base now. Tight.
Who then rolls
Ahead and right.
ready for the Jippo break.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, a big round of applause for the synchro pair. watching the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team, the Red Arrows.